What's up, my little unicorns, new and old? It's West Indie Ray back again with another video. Today I am here to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart. I actually get a lot of questions about this when I do my story posts on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, pause this video, follow me, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and come back and watch it. But today I'm going to be talking about ancestors. It's not uncommon, especially in African and Asian countries, to honor your ancestors. Also, a lot of times we do things to honor our ancestors no matter what race, ethnicity, nationality we are without even knowing it. In this video, we're going to discuss who the ancestors are, why we honor them, and ways that we can honor them. Now keep in mind that this is a very vast topic, so there's no way, in my opinion, that I can simplify it down to one video that's not like way too long. So you guys, as you're watching this video, please also have that understanding and don't be like, well, in the region of this area and these people do this and it's against that, because everybody believes something different, and I am a true believer in following your own path and following what pulls you. So please keep that in mind as we go through this video. I'm not speaking about any specific region or not trying to include any specific type of people, because everybody has ancestors, and that's something to remember as we go through this. So first of all, who are the ancestors? In a sense, they are the predecessors of our bloodline. Anybody who you come from that you would not be you without. So like your grandpa, that's an ancestor. Your great-great-great-grandma, that's an ancestor. A lot of other people also believe that even people who are of your bloodline that are not, you know, you're not a direct descendant of, can also be ancestors. So people like your cousins, sometimes they think you have spiritual ancestors, or your ancestor can be something that you honor, like a pet or an animal. I've heard all sorts of things when it comes to who people believe that their ancestors are, or who can fit in that category of being an ancestor. To me though, I like to think of them as like personal angels who fight on your behalf in the spiritual realm. So yeah, of course they were once here, but now they're in the spiritual realm in a sense. So to me, I feel like they help me with the things that I can't feel, like the non-tangibles. And I feel like they're so inclined to do so because really their existence led up to two things: A, the world as they left it when they passed away, and B, us. So that being said, I feel like they hold our well-being at a very high level of importance. Like, we're their babies, they love us, they want to nurture us as they did when they were here, or you know, all the things that they did and the sacrifices that they made to get us to this point. I feel like, you know, if we make them proud, they really push for us to win, because you know, we are the sum, the total of all of them put together. And I feel like just as we credit other people in our family, like our grandparents or our parents, for our personal strengths, whether it be academically or athletically or artistically, like, oh, my grandpa was really good at math, so that's why I'm good at math. I feel like in that same sense, when we honor them and we get to know them, we also get to know a lot more about ourselves. Another important thing for me as well is that when I think about my ancestors, a lot of times I think about those who I know, like my immediate family or like my immediate grandparents, as well as those who I've heard stories about, like my great-great-grandpa and the things that he did. And to me, that just gives me a sense of peace of mind, knowing that, you know, these energies are not going to do anything to harm me. They're coming to me with good intention, as I'm coming to them with good intention. Although I honor all of my ancestors based off the strength of the fact that they are within me, I tend to feel a lot of connection towards those ones because I know that I can trust them, because not all spirits are good spirits, you know what I'm saying? So it's very important to be careful when it comes to those that are unknown. But still, I do my part in trying to heal the things within me that manifested within me, because it could be an indication of something that they went through in life. So as you can see, for me, I feel like we're all universally connected, and it's important to heal ourselves. I hope this all makes sense to you guys, because I don't want it to feel like I'm talking in circles. And like I said, those ancestors who are the closest to me are those who I feel the most comfortable with, especially as somebody who's really kind of a beginner in the game of honoring my ancestors. Some people grow up doing this their whole lives. I've only been doing it for a couple of years because my family isn't really like big on that. That wasn't really a priority. It was more like, oh, these people are gone, they're in heaven now, and we're never gonna talk to them or see them again until we get to heaven too. It was a very like disconnected type of vibe when it comes to people who have passed on to the next level. Also, I think that it is important to find a space to honor all of your ancestors, no matter where you're from or what your background is. Not just the ones that we like to imagine are kings and queens, but the ones that had tough lives as well. A lot of times I feel like those ones that maybe had less than favorable lives you know, probably needed even a little bit more than the ones who were like kings and queens and stuff like that. So it's important to get everybody. And honestly, that's something that I've struggled with because of my background. Because I look at some people, and I don't want this to sound terrible, but sometimes when I look at people and I know a little bit about what their heritage is, I'm like, wow, like I would be so ashamed. I would be pissed off if all of my ancestors were that. So that's something that I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around, even within my own life, you know, people who maybe have been like less than favorable. But I think that surely there's a time and place to honor or heal in some way, shape, or form those ancestors who maybe lived less than favorable lives or had less than favorable opinions. So next we're going to talk about why we honor the ancestors. Now, like I said before, through them we are. So to me, that's a good enough reason in and of itself to honor them, because we wouldn't be here without them, literally. Without even knowing, a lot of them made huge sacrifices on our behalf that ended up benefiting us. So I think that's definitely something that should be respected and honored. Many people also honor the ancestors because they believe that it will get them to the next level in their spiritual lives. Just because people die here in this physical realm on earth, that doesn't necessarily mean that the energy has just completely gone away. You know, energy can't be created nor destroyed. To me, that's especially important for ancestors that may have died in humiliating ways, or who were not given the proper respects and burials and things like that when they passed over to the next realm. I feel like it's up to us to honor and respect them so that they can rest easily and move freely. Because I mean, like, if we don't do it, who else is gonna do it? That's my personal opinion. You may think whatever you think, but that's just how I feel about it. I also believe that it's important to honor the ancestors because a lot of the things that we go through today, they've been through before. And I really do feel like a lot of them have our best interests at heart. So it's like a mutually beneficial relationship in that sense. I think they really try their best to guide us to the right path, and we should just show appreciation for that. And I think it's also important to keep in mind that just because you come from your ancestors and you are a sum of all of them, as I like to say, being your highest self makes them happy, it makes them better, and in turn, them being better also helps you be your highest self. So like, I just feel like it's a complete like 360 universal connection. The connectivity is real, and it's important to honor them for their sake and your own as well. So next I want to talk about how we honor them. The most obvious way to honor an ancestor is super clear, and I feel like it's something that almost everybody does. When you have a funeral, when you go to somebody's grave and you speak good things about them, when you talk to them, like when it blows my mind, because if I sit in my home at my altar and I talk to my ancestors, people will give me the side eye. But people go to grave sites and talk out loud to their ancestors or to their loved ones, and that's not a problem. You guys are weird, okay? Also, when you bring flowers to a gravesite or you leave little gifts there, it's a ritual, it's an offering. So don't let anybody make you feel bad for honoring your ancestors when they literally do the same thing. They're going to a site with a whole bunch of dead bodies, speaking out loud and leaving offerings, and they want you to feel bad for speaking to your ancestors in your home by your personal altar that's a safe place with no other spirits around. Like, I mean, obviously there's spirits probably everywhere, I don't know, but it's twisted thinking, you know. And we got to think, why do we allow ourselves to be so programmed to the point where we think that it's so wrong to do it here, but when they do it the way that they do it, that's acceptable? I don't buy into that. So yeah, that is the most common way that I feel like people honor their ancestors. It's also a thing to like pour libations or pour water onto the ground. We can also hang pictures of them around our homes so that they're kind of always on our minds and in our hearts. Building an altar is also something very good that you can do, just space that's like dedicated to that, to your, you know, communication with them and all that good stuff. It's something that has been done for centuries and something that will not die with me. Another thing, like I said before, is carrying out your divine purpose, living your life as your highest self. That's a way to honor them because, you know, that's what they lived for. We can also do a lot of work with healing our generational, a lot of people call them generational curses or generational pass-throughs that we've gotten from our family line. I think that healing those things can also be beneficial in healing them and helping them rest easier and move easier in the spiritual realm. We can also do good deeds in their names. This is very common among people of all races when they literally create scholarship funds or charity funds for their loved ones. Like, these are things that we do in our everyday life. We just don't recognize that we are doing them in the traditional sense. Another thing that I like to do is enjoy things that I enjoyed while I was with them. So those are just a couple things we can do in order to honor them. We can do these things in so many areas of our daily life. Even with my mother, like, she's still living here on earth. I love her so much, and some of the things that I do because I know that she would be proud of me. And people tell me all the time, like, you are your mother's child. And it's kind of the same sense, but just like with people who are no longer here. And the last thing that I want to say is please, please, please remember to follow your instincts when it comes to anything in regards to spirituality. It's really easy to get caught up in the wrong thing, maybe go down a wrong path, or be influenced by the wrong type of energy. So when you're doing these things, make sure you go in with an open heart and an open mind and do these things with good intentions, and you will be rewarded for it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope that it takes away some of the shame that people try to place on you for honoring your ancestors, which is like crazy to me when you think about it. But I hope this helped with that. I'm really, really interested to know how different people do it from country to country, from culture to culture, and even from individual to individual. Let me know, how do you honor your ancestors in your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly life? So along with leaving me those lovely comments, because I'd love to talk to you guys, make sure you drop a unicorn in the comment section below. That'll just let me know that you made it to the end of the video, that you're a little unicorn, and that you love me. And as usual, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow all my social media accounts right down there, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.